Hello Internet, I'm Jackie Fox. Thank you to all the wotv players for tuning in. Today I'm going to teach you something really special, something that you can do to benefit your guild. I've had a few people ask me about this, and I'm glad I actually put off making a video about this. I had thought about doing it before. I had actually over a year ago made a video about this really quickly to share with a friend who was going to be scouting for our guild that day. But this is going to be a scouting guide because it's gotten a lot easier. Now, let me explain to you the old way it used to work so you know what we used to have to do, essentially. What we would do is we would make sure that we had a pretty decent ranking in Arena, first of all. Now, for around where the guilds I was usually scouting for were, usually being between 2,000 and 4,000 in Arena, at the end of the day was usually pretty good. That was kind of the range that I would see people at if I used a couple restores. Sometimes it would take several orbs to find the person, but essentially what you're doing is after every fight, you just check the rankings around you, looking at the guilds that each player is in. When you find someone that is in a guild that the guild that you are facing off against today in guild battle has gone up against in, say, the last 5 days, is usually your best information. As you can see from checking their battle records, if you find one of those guilds and not a guild with the exact same name, for instance, it happens a lot when you face certain opponents like Avalanche, Seventh Heaven, etc. I think anyone who's ever scouted one of those guilds knows exactly how that feels, but I'm getting away from myself because it's gotten so much easier than that, and that could get more complicated, honestly, but you understand enough. So today, I'm going to show you how I scouted for my guild. We are facing off against Spring Onion, which I thought would be a more common name, actually. So now I have basically everything that I could want to know about Spring Onion. For instance, it seems like, well, there kind of seems to be some sort of a rotation on defense, but not quite. I mean, I'm seeing a couple of dark players who are kind of flip-flopping. I'm not seeing like a bunch of guild consistency like I've seen before, but I will want to take that in mind because those players will flip-flop between days. Which means that when I come back, well, actually, there's more that I can discern from this. Like, it tells me who they're going to be fighting me with, and good God, they seem to have a not diverse offensive team. But their defense actually is pretty diverse, and this is who we're looking at. Prince Mont is actually the most common unit on their defense. More common than Sephiroth, actually. More solidly is Lucio up at the... Okay, I'm going to stop reading that and actually show you how to scout because, look, there's a lot of information here that I could nerd out about. I can tell you who last joined their guild. I can tell you who's in their guild right now, who the guild leader is, when they last changed their name. Here's their battle record recently. I could always blow this... Well, actually, recently. I mean, like, basically this year. This is about how they've done this year. So... let me make this a slightly more relevant range. Let's go with like the middle of March. Yeah, this is kind of where they've been recently. Kind of on a downslide. That probably means poor morale. Now, this is going to be showing win or loss from their perspective. Ultimately, what I want is the fight that has the most stars on this side, but is also within maybe the last 5 days. For this, it happens to be their fight with Valor Lotus, which they lost. Now, as I'm noticing, I should probably go to this fight, actually, because of the rotations. That is one thing you want to do because there are guilds that rotate, because this is a really effective way of screwing with the old scouting system. But once again, it creates a very noticeable pattern on their main guild page that you can pick up pretty easily. So actually this might be a more accurate fight for my folks to be looking at. So I'm gonna copy that and end up throwing that in the Discord. But what you can do, if you're just picking for yourself, because I'm gonna throw this in the Discord, but let's say I'm coming in with my Earth team. My Earth team is particularly suited against Lightning, of course. So I want to see their Lightning teams. I want to see, you know, maybe a Lightning team that might be a little bit hard for somebody else. This one's probably going to be more gunner. This one's going to have some good sustain. So these are two good Lightning teams to fight. But I'm not seeing any of their Lightning teams getting many defends. Because I was noticing that they had maybe 5 or 6 teams that were getting multiple defends in a fight. Oh, that's right, I'm not running Earth, so I could go after Dan. Dan was the Soddly that no one revealed. Okay, so let me show you the day that I looked at previously, not the Yorha fight, but the one I first pointed out, just because it had a slightly better score. This one, the 76 versus Valor Lotus. Dan here is notable for being the only person that no one wanted to fight because everyone was scared of Soddly. So I'm going to take this guy out. That seems like a good one. He's the scary dude. He also got multiple defends on that other day. This one might be another good team, especially on this map. Anyways, I'm gonna stop strategizing for and telling these people how I'm gonna beat them, but this is ultimately how you can use this website to do your scouting for you and to give you a bit more information about what's going on with the opponent's team and how you can fight back. And I've been kind of conflicted because of how easy this is, but ultimately I think that this is something that really democratizes a process that had previously been for tryhards only. I mean, you still have to be a little bit of a tryhard to like fucking Google your opponents, but it's not as difficult. It doesn't require a commitment to a week's worth of PvP and spending like 30 to 45 minutes a day trawling through the ranks and trying to remember 5 names, which could be completely obscure, spelled really strangely, or spelled exactly like every other name in the arena that day. So just be grateful that we have wotv stats now for people who are doing this. And for those of you who are scouting for your guild, I might have just saved you a lot of time. So if I did, thank me in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Or I'll see you at the Foxhole. You can also join that by looking in the description. That is my new Discord, which houses a whole lot of things, including a Visions classroom for War of the Visions. And I'm going to be doing a live show there in about 2 hours about the different types of PvP, and my YouTube audience will eventually see that as well. Eventually. It feels like it's going to be a long conversation and probably require quite a bit of editing, so I don't know when you're actually going to see it, but see you in that one, I guess.